So, Gator, I've been thinking about this. So I'm starting to shift into football mode. And I've started, preparing for the Michigan season a little bit, putting together charts with, the each position group and getting notes on every player and all that stuff.
Get the bucket list ready.
Yes. Well,
the bucket,
fill
the bucket list.
Yeah, it's all the things that, you try and have little note and interesting story about just about everybody on the team. So if they ever become the story in a game, you can kind of get into their story. But, Scott, I was thinking about the conference. I'm working my way through the conference. Who is the best returning quarterback in the Big Ten?
It's a great question because I think there's only 6 that are returning. So out of that 6, you've got Aiden Childs, Drew Aller. I don't know who else.
There's a couple more.
Well, there's 4 more. But yeah,
I think Ethan Kalikmanis at Rutgers, Luke Altmaier at Illinois. I'm trying not to look at the list because I made notes.
I will tell you my answer. I think it's Drew Aller.
Okay, yeah, I think it's probably for everybody. It's Drew Aller. But there's a lot of unknowns at the quarterback position, and hence I'm not sure that the Big Ten is looking at their 3rd consecutive national championship, although boy did the commissioner pound his chest out there in Vegas during the Big Ten meetings. But there's not a lot outside of Aller. There's some questions, man. He's the guy.
There's tons of questions, and from a local standpoint, there's tons of intrigue.
Oh, sure.
Right? I mean, Michigan State, you got Aiden Childs coming back for his 2nd season. He better take a big step forward, or Michigan State's not going to take a big step forward. It really is a lot on his shoulders. But he's got a ton of talent. Excited to see. We saw last year this kind of dual threat type player. Got a great strong arm. And with Nick Marsh, it's going to be a really nice combination again in year 2 with these guys.
A tight end.
You're right. Michigan with Bryce Underwood likely to start it. I mean, certainly at some point he'll start. Will he start from day one? Don't know. But being a local guy, everybody's intrigued with that. And then you got Dante Moore. Where's he? Is he Oregon?
Oregon, yep.
So he transferred from UCLA to Oregon. And that's a local kid. Remember, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. We're doing a show, and somebody called up into the show, one of his coaches, and said, telling you right now, Dante Moore is going to be a stud.
Yeah.
And he was this very highly recruited player, kind of mixed results a little bit last year, but going to get a chance to work with the big team.
So as I sat here and looked at this kind of putting together thoughts on the league and realizing that when you don't have a lot of proven quarterbacks, it could be a down year for a league. You never really know. There are some guys that transferred in that have played elsewhere that could make a difference. But the Davey O'Brien Awards odds came out today. So this is preseason.
Okay.
Who will win the quarterback of the year award, which is what the Davey O'Brien Award is. And it's nationwide.
Arch Manning.
Yeah, right. And the Big Ten.
I'm going to guess the Big Ten is not well represented. It's like Drew Aller, and then I don't know when the next quarterback will come in, and who is the next quarterback I don't know. I don't even know who's playing for Ohio State. I haven't started my prep work on Big Ten football.
Well, he is the Big Ten in the top 18 of odds. The Big Ten has 3 guys. The Southeastern Conference has 7. Okay, so you start going down the list. The Big Ten has 2 guys that are 10-1, which is tied for 4th. Drew Aller and Ohio State's quarterback, Julian Sayin. Then Dante Moore is 12-1. Those are the 3 Big Ten quarterbacks that are in the top 18. SEC has 7 of the top 18, which, I mean, for people, if you've been following and paying attention, it shouldn't come as a huge surprise. I don't know.
Nussmeier is probably up there.
Well, Arch Manning is the favorite at 4-1. Garrett Nussmeier is 5-1. Then Cabe Klubnik, ACC quarterback out of Clemson, 6-1. Then the 2 Big Ten guys, Aller and Sayin, and Dante Moore is 12-1. DJ Lagway of Florida, 12-1. Lenore Sellers, South Carolina, 12-1. Austin Simmons, Ole Miss, 22-1. Gunnar Stockton, Georgia, 22-1. John Meter, Oklahoma, 22-1. So there's the top of the charts.
Gunnar Stockton, that's a name, right? It's Gunnar Stockton.
Yep, great name.
The Gunner.
Other Big Ten quarterbacks, 33-1, Nico Iamaleava who transferred from Tennessee to UCLA. So he's kind of returning. I mean, he's not returning to UCLA, but he is at 33 to 1. The transfer.
They loved him at Tennessee until was it Tennessee or Clemson?
It was Tennessee.
Tennessee before they didn't.
Yeah, and I mean, he's that whole story, and it feels like, he was basically put up to the highest bidder, which was a weird deal. And I feel like the kid got wrapped up in something that the family orchestrated. The transfer into Indiana, Fernando Mendoza, is next at 40 to 1.
Where did he transfer from?
Cal,
that's right.
Cal. Hold on.
Yeah. We talked to Jared Goff about him a couple times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was Cal. Next is Dylan Raiola at 45 to 1.
Nebraska.
Yep.
That's a returning quarterback.
Jaden Mayava at USC is 45 to 1. Desmond Williams at Washington is 100 to 1. Mark Gronkowski at Iowa is 100 to 1. Luke Altmaier, Illinois, is 150 to 1. And that concludes the Big Ten quarterbacks that get odds.
What's interesting to me when you look at all this with the Big Ten is in rankings, like not even rankings, these are odds on favorites to win the Davey O'Brien Award. But it's almost like it doesn't matter who's the quarterback of Ohio State or the quarterback of Oregon. Those are two teams that have gifted offenses year in and year out. It just feel like, well, we'll just plug them in because that's the quarterback.
Yep.
Now, Sayan might be great.
He might be.
And
surprised his odds are that high.
Yeah, I was more surprised that Dante Moore's odds are that high.
Okay.
But we'll see. Again, this is going to be a really intriguing year in the Big Ten because there are so many newcomers. You can understand why Penn State is like the odds-on favorite to win the Big Ten because they've got so many guys coming back. They got the running backs coming back. The quarterback is coming back. I think they've got their center coming back. That's a pretty good way to start right up the middle on your offense, center, quarterback, running backs. So I can totally understand why that's the case.
So Wisconsin has a returning Big Ten quarterback, and that's Billy Edwards, who is at Maryland. But I don't remember him really lighting the world on fire. It's just so weird. The Big Ten, this is a weird year for the Big Ten and the quarterback position because there are so many unknowns. But no odds for Aiden Childs or Bryce Underwood, which I was actually a little surprised at both. I was Childs, given that he is a returning quarterback, and if I were Michigan State, they're building a case around improvement at the quarterback spot and a couple of weapons in the passing game. The running back and offensive line situations need to sort themselves out. And then Underwood, just for hype, I'm surprised he didn't get odds. Don't really care whether either of them did or didn't because it has no bearing on reality and what's going to happen.
Look, I don't think either player has a shot in hell of winning the Davey O'Brien Award, but I am excited as a fan and as alumnus of Michigan State to see Childs play a second year with Michigan State. And it's a third year basically in the offense because it's what they were kind of running at Oregon State. Nick Marsh might be the best receiver in the country. So I'm really surprised just based on the odds that pairing wouldn't have vaulted him higher, but it's okay.
Yep.
And just as a fan of college football, you're going to get excited about the hype of a true freshman that has an opportunity. Now, does Michigan have enough weapons around him? I think they got a running game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they've got the receivers just yet, but he'll have time to grow a little bit.
I mean, no, look, they need the McCauley transfer kid from Indiana to be really good, and he has shown promise in his career, and he's a bigger target. Speaking of which, the freshman Browder's a huge target, and then you've got Fred Moore, who made a contested catch for a touchdown in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Alabama. Michigan only had, seriously, such a small number of contested catches last year. But they really like Fredro, and we'll see if he lives up to it. And there's other guys in the mix there, but they do need more from the wide receiver position. I think Michigan was the only team in the country. Michigan and one of the service academies, only team in the country that didn't have a pass play more than 40 yards.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a struggle on offense this past year. All right, got sidetracked. Didn't get to something that was leaving our state that I made a little trek just to kind of pay homage and check it out. Before it's gone, we will get to that today at 11:48. And there's a video I want Gator to watch, and many of you have seen, but he has not seen yet. And I do want you to check it out because it is It is totally symbolic of an organization that can't get anything right. That at 11:50 on Karsch and Anderson on 97.1 The Ticket.